Good afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I'm making an apple cake. We're going to try to make it a little more nutritious than just using white flour. You're going to need a 9-inch springform and you're going to have soft butter, and they want you to grease it with the butter, nothing else. In another bowl, they want you to sit there and add 1 cup of all-purpose flour sifted. Now they want it sifted before you do anything else with it. Then after that, we are going to put 6 tablespoons of butter in, and we're going to mix it with our fingers to where it's crumbly. This is how they wish to have it done, except mine's frozen. So I'll grater mine. The best way to start it is to do it. And that's 6 tablespoons of butter. If your butter's frozen, just grater it. If it's soft, you're going to have to sit there and make it crumbly with your fingers, mixing it up. I always keep mine in the freezer, so mine's always frozen. So when I make the strudel, I always have it grated. Well, somebody came on and somebody left. Probably not what they wanted to see. Well, that's all right. So we're going to grater this butter in. By the way, this comes from Ireland, this recipe, from the county of Armagh. It's known as the Orchard County, and they celebrate its apples with festivals and apple blossom tours. So this cake is part of that season. They said there's a legend that St. Patrick himself planted an apple tree in an ancient settlement outside of Armagh City. So this is what they say. So we're going to be making the strudel topping first. We have the pan greased, and then we'll get these apples ready. But we should be able to make it nutritious. Not the greatest, I'm not sure, but we'll find out one way or another. So it's going to look like breadcrumbs when we get done mixing this together. And then we'll add sugar, but we won't be using all-purpose sugar. We're going to be using superfine sugar, which is ultra fine. It's even finer than confectionery sugar. So, got that grated. Might as well turn you down to see what I'm doing. You can actually see I got so much butter on my hands. Hold on. Now they want this mixed before we add the sugar into it. So I got my super fine. I could not find it in the store, so I sat there and I got it from Amazon if you want a place to go to get it. And we're going to add, it's just ultra fine baker's sugar. And we're going to add a 1/2 cup of this. And we'll be putting this to the side as well. My hands are so cold. By the way, it was 20-something today. It was cold. I could not believe how cold I was. It was really cold outside. Yeah, I forgot to get some stuff, so I'll be running around doing everything here. Now, what do they want? They want us to take care of the apples now. You're going to need 2 Granny Smith. Those are the green apples that you're going to need. And what we're going to do with these apples, they want us to peel them and core them and thinly slice the apples. Where did I put the apples? Oh. That was butter that was being grated, not cheese. I hate them putting these things on. When I grew up, they gave us little brown bags, and we used to sit there and put whatever we wanted in it, and that's how we did it. And then when we went up, we would weigh it, and when we got up to the counter, she would look into the bag to see what we have, and then she would punch the numbers in and weigh it. Now, because this is light, you're going to have to watch me do everything. I don't think they have a pause on this. Maybe they will someday, or maybe they do, and I just don't know how to work it. It was so cold today, and it took a whole hour for the taxi to get to me, man. I was so cold when I came in. I couldn't even unpack. My hands were just that cold, even with gloves on and everything. Now, you consider these apples big, right? Let me show you how our apples used to be. Our green apples were this big. Look at the difference in size. All the apples used to be this small. This is where when you talk to the old people, they can sit there and tell you, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember in the day. I remember trying to make peach preserves with my grandmother, man. She went through those peaches so fast, and I was still going, working very slowly. I guess you guys would tell me you're still very slow. All right, it's me. So, there's one apple peeled. Get this one going. We used to eat all the peelings of the peaches, the pears, and everything. My brothers and I, we demolish them. The fruit would go for the canned preserves, and we would eat all the peelings. So I haven't grown up from that either. I still eat the peelings. I started to see a lot of people racing through their cooking and all. It doesn't sound like you enjoy cooking. Cooking is actually an art, believe it or not. Yes, it was butter that I grated into the flour and then added superfine sugar. Most people don't think about it. Setting the table and making the food presentable is an art. And I think when family doesn't appreciate it and they just eat and walk away without at least acknowledging it, it discourages. It's very discouraging. It's something we should think about. And that's how I look at it. So I have fun in the kitchen. When I set the table really nice, we're all eating at the same time. We don't, because the schedules are so crazy in my household. That's why you see me cooking dinner early in the morning. I have to. All right, now I've done all this house. Thinly slice the apple. That's what they said. You want it thinly sliced? Okay. So I love to have the table set, and I love to have everything laid out and put in bowls and presented right. Unless I'm sick. You can always tell when I'm sick. Everything's thrown together. And the table isn't set nice. I bet you're going to have to put some lemon juice on these. So make sure you cut these apples really thin, because I know what they want us to do with them. So if you're making this with me, I don't see how you can. You don't know what to put in it, but just in case. Another thing is I would not have long nails if you're cooking in the kitchen a lot. Only because I've had to dig my nails out of things. And why do I always have my hair pulled back? Because you shed. Like animals, you shed. You have to sit there, pull your hair back, or you'll find people eating hair. And one thing you don't want to see is somebody pulling hair out of something that you've made. A bit on the embarrassing side. When I took home ec, they sat there and told me that we had to put nets in our hair. Every time we went to home ec and we went to make bread or whatever we were going to make, all of us girls had to have nets in our head. No matter how short. And if you ever went to a restaurant and went into the kitchen, you should see everybody with a net on, no matter how short, even the men. There's going to be a lot of apples on it. Okay, now what do you want us to do? Now we're going to have to put some lemon juice on this because they're going to turn colors. I think this lemon is dry. Well, not that dry. This is only to keep the the apples from turning gray, so they'll look nice in the cake. And just toss it around a bit, and that should keep them from turning gray. You don't want too much added. You just want enough to make sure that they're coated enough to hold their color. Put that to the side. Is there anything else you want me to do here with those apples? Okay, now we'll get the flour ingredients together. because we're not using cake flour, they're insisting that we're going to have to sit there. I pray you're not wet. They want us to sift the flour that we measure. All right, so let me get down to that part. That's 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. Here's 1/3 cup. To sift everything with this? Yeah, they do. They want us to. Baking powder, we're going to have to add 2 teaspoons. And we're going to have to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And on the cinnamon, we need a teaspoon. All right, and they want us to sift all of this. Don't always have to use a sifter, you just need a strainer and you can do it. Now remember, I am going to be trying to make this more nutritious than it is. So, because I'm going to be doing that, I am going to add a tablespoon, 1 tablespoon. Oh, you can be very careful. You know, so I'm repeating it. 1 tablespoon of wheat germ. It'll be so thin in here that you won't see it when the cake is done being made. And I'm going to be adding some powdered milk. Now, I don't know how much powdered milk, because I know powdered milk is going to make it a little browner than it should. So I'm going to work with just 1 tablespoon and we'll see how that is. But that's adding some protein into it. It's also adding B's and minerals into it and other things. And it should work. Fingers crossed. I want to mix this into it. Okay? I'm afraid if we add too much powdered milk, it'll become too dark. But I won't know till after I make this, could I add 2 tablespoons or not. But if I used wheat flour, it would taste more like a bread. That's why I'm using the wheat germ, to let you understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. All right, now place the butter and superfine sugar in a separate bowl and beat until light and fluffy. Okay, we can do that. So let's see. They want a 1/2 cup of superfine sugar. And 1 tablespoon. And the butter, hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. 1 stick of butter. This has been sitting out, so it should blend quite easy. I took it out at 4 o'clock this morning. Just in case I have a problem with it. Now I'm going to go get my hand mixer. I will be gone for like maybe 30 seconds. I actually forgot it because I was so excited about making it. See, that wasn't so long. I read this recipe and I said, oh God, this sounds so good. I was looking for fresh mint in the store. They didn't have that. They didn't have some other stuff. And I said, dang, they didn't even have morning radishes. So I don't know how I'm going to make that work. I'm still working on how I'm going to work on that. Now they want you to take this part right here and beat together until light and fluffy. Where did I put these eggs? Oh, right there. So we're going to be beating this for a while. This is most entertaining, so while I'm doing this, I guess I can read some clapping seal. What's a clapping seal? I don't know. This butter's been sitting out all day and it still doesn't want to blend well. I'm going to be at this for a while. I think you could have a cup of coffee and come back. Does that tell you how bad? I'm making an apple cake. Right now we're supposed to cream the butter and the sugar, but as you can see, it doesn't want to do it. I might have to do it by my hand, but I'm hoping this will work. Because we have eggs and stuff we have to do. I don't think it's going to break down. You know, if you're not going to break down, I'm going to do this with my hand. I'm better at it with my hands. Can't get it one way, I'm going to do it another. This is how my mother-in-law did it. She didn't use mixers. Yeah, we did that too. You wouldn't believe half of the stuff we used to do. Okay, now it's going to be able to cream. Okay, now it should be able to cream. Now, I've melted this butter long enough. Now I'll turn that mixer back on. You should be able to do it better. Yeah, I knew it. I'm making an apple cake. I know you can't hear me because of the mixer. It'll get there. It's Not after being up here in New York. I know it's cold now. My girlfriend was in Maine. She says it's really cold up here. All right, you're going to take an egg and crack it in. Oh, man. Gradually beat in the eggs. All right, so they want it at a lower temperature. Beat this egg in. Adding a little of the flour mixture with the last addition of egg. Okay. Add another egg. And add a half a cup of your flour mixture with the egg. Right now, what do you want me to do? All right, they want you to fold the mixture now, what we're doing. All right, how do you want me to gently fold in half of the remaining flour mixture? All right, you're just going to take half of what's left and you're going to fold it in. Remember, when you're folding something and it's a circular motion going around, you're not stirring it because you'll beat the air out that you put into it. Of course, the apples are going to drop it down some too, but what can I say? So that's why you see me turning in a circular motion. This is called folding. Most of the time you use it, it's because you're doing whites to make sure you hold the air into it, but you can also do it with batters like this. Now they want you to add the rest of the flour and fold it in with the milk. Now the milk is 2 tablespoons of milk. We're going to be doing the same motion, even though you've added milk to it, we're going to be doing the same motion. We're folding this in. And how do you know when it's mixed and you quit folding it, you don't see the flour anymore in the dough? That's how you know. All right. This doesn't look like it's going to be a really thick cake, but I hope we can work with the wheat germ done in low amounts like that and the powdered milk to make the flour and the cake more nutritious. It's alive.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Now they want you to spoon the batter into the prepared pan and smooth the top, which I'm trying to do right now. I know a wet spatula do much better job. Okay. Now what they want us to do is that tastes good. I know they say don't eat the batter that's raw egg. Da, 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 da. I don't eat slice apples and sprinkle strudel. Okay. They want us to lay the apples on top of this, all over it. So take your apple pieces. I mean, if anybody that's a little older than me has a pineapple cheesecake that first came out, I would love that recipe. Seriously, I am not joking. I would love to have that recipe. Because I was a little girl when it came out. It was published in a magazine. I can't remember if it's Better Homes and Gardens or not, but she found it in a magazine. The pineapple was crushed pineapples next to the crust, and I think you put sour cream on at the last few minutes of the cheesecake time. I can't remember. I had the recipe and somebody took it, and I'm just, All right, now they want us to sprinkle the strudel over it. an hour. So the finished product will be on a short because I cannot think of leaving you just sitting there a whole hour. I don't even know what we could possibly talk about because I have a mess to clean up in my kitchen. But anyway, this is how you make it, but look for the short. The short will be by the same name, all right, which is called apple cake. But let's get this in the oven to cook for 1 hour. Okay, now you can decide if you want to stay active for watching me clean up my mess and eat apple peelings, or would you like to let me just put it in a short. I think the short would be better for you. I'll see what you say. So what's your opinion? Talk while I'm doing dishes, or should we sit there and just end it? We are making an apple cake that's from Ireland. The legend has it that St. Patty himself planted an apple tree in an ancient settlement outside of Armagh City, but the county of Armagh is known as the Orchard County, and it celebrates its apples with festives and apple blossom tours. So this is where all this comes from, okay? And I bought the heavy cream. I haven't made the vanilla ice cream yet, okay? So listen, I will see you in a short, or maybe I could turn on the live. It'll be a short live, but I will see you in approximately longer than an hour. I better do a short because they say this has got to cool in the pan before I can remove the sides. And then before we serve it, I got to tell you what we got to do. So I'm definitely going to have to make another. It'll either be a live, I'll say part 2, call it as a part 2 of the apple cake, or either I'll be doing a short and it will be known as the short, just apple cake. Okay, so listen, take care, and we'll see how this ends in about whenever. Okay, so bye-bye for now.